Hey everyone, this is Darren, also known as Bombadil from No Guts, No Galaxy, and I'd like to welcome you to the MechWarrior Online Devlog number 2. In this episode, we'll hear from the devs on such topics as assault mode changes, weapon modules, UI 2.0, and more. So let's join the devs for more information.
Hello everyone, my name is Paulie Notway. I'm the lead designer at MechWarrior Online here at Piranha Games. I'm here with Dennis, our art director. You all know Alex Iglesias, also known as Flying Debris.
Hello.
He hasn't been fired this week, and he hasn't quit so far. Right. To my left is Dave Bradley and Alex Schmidt. They're two of our game designers, and yeah, we're here to talk about the questions that we've been given from the community. The top points we're going to be covering over today are assault mode, the new weapon modules, UI 2.0, the new mech coming out, and clans. Basically clan mechs and how they're going to be built, etc. And that's what Dave's going to be covering here today. So let's start off with assault mode. One of the questions was, why was the base geometry changed? Right now, I'll let Dennis touch on that.
Biggest reason is aesthetics, just to shake it up. You can have a drilling platform, but it gets a little bit boring. We wanted something different right from the start. Long ago we wanted it, we just never had time to do it. When we finally did, we did. So we created the mobile command unit. I think it shakes up the look of the game a bit. It adds to the gameplay a bit, because it's a different shape, and also it looks a lot better than the drilling platform in certain areas. Some places look a little goofy with the drilling platform, like in the middle of a tarmac or something. It just doesn't work. So yeah, it's just something different. I would love to have another couple of different ones too. When we have time, possibly we will, but no promises.
Yeah. That would be kind of neat to have like unique bases on each map, right? I mean, that would help us shut Alex up about immersion and all this stuff.
No, nothing.
We've also been asked is why did we update assault mode in general? And the reason is that we want to prepare for the upcoming community warfare game modes, which is going to incorporate everything that you've experienced so far and then more. It's the thought of following through with the idea of having phased gameplay throughout a match, where maybe the attacking team attacks a defensive point. They take that point, then it's moved on to stage 2 or phase 2 of that match, and it happens all in one giant match. And that's like all these new gameplay changes that we're making are helping us get the gameplay ready for that kind of mode. So that's why we thought it was a good time to start looking into just changing a few of the rules up. Now onto the weapon modules, and I'll let Alexander Schmidt talk about that, and he's the one heading up on some, so if you don't like him.
So the first question was, what are weapon modules and what do they do? Weapon modules in general are modules that affect a certain stat of a certain weapon. It means that a module can only affect one weapon and only one stat of it. For example, what we release first is the range modules. So you'll have a module that will only affect the range of, for example, a medium laser or a large laser. And it will not affect any other weapon, just that specific one. They'll come in right now in 2 tiers. So you can unlock a second tier after you've unlocked the first one. But we're planning to have a total of 5 tiers with later updates.
What are the differences between the tiers? Like between tier 1 and tier 2, it's just a little bit extra range beyond that point, right?
Yes, so with each tier you get more benefit, but also more penalty. Right. So the modules come with a penalty, in this case a heat penalty. So you get more range, but also you produce with each shot a little bit more heat.
Yeah. The reason why there's always a penalty involved is that we don't want to be able to make everything just overpowered again, because that basically takes all the balancing that has happened so far, just throws it out the window. So for modules, there's always going to be that little bit of an extra, power upgrade, but there's always going to be some sort of negative. So whether it be heat, whether it be any other sort of diverse effects, and you'll be seeing those as they come out. Right. Some of the other questions is like, what are their costs, right? And are they stackable? Right. So
Well, technically those weapon modules work as any other module as well. So you unlock them for GXP and then you buy them. In this case, only with C-bills, there will be no MC versions of these modules. And they're not stackable, in the sense of you cannot equip multiple modules one and the same, but you can of course have different modules affecting one and the same weapon. That's possible.
UI 2.0, now we normally have Sean Cove here with us, but he's actually out on the dev floor having a nervous breakdown. So I'm going to be touching on the few points that were brought up. People were wondering when to expect updates, and all I can say is immediately. Every patch that will be following the February 4th release of UI 2.0 will be containing updates for UI 2.0. One of the things that we're adding the very first patch is this warning system that comes up when you basically invalidate your mech. For example, if you drag your engine off your mech, it'll have a little warning icon that pops up. Hopefully they'll bring up a screenshot of it. I'll supply them with a screenshot so you can see what our preliminary layout's going to be. When you do invalidate your mech, it's going to have a little icon that pops up. You mouse over it, it'll tell you exactly why. This will cover things like warnings, which will be things where you've invalidated your mech, but at the same time you can still launch. An alert is something you have to fix before you can launch, and it'll be very clear on why you can't launch. It'll also help clear up things about heat scale. When you equip 3 PPCs onto a mech, it'll warn you that firing those 3 PPCs at one time will generate a heat penalty. Another question that was brought up was the feedback that the community has given us. Now, one of the most touchy points that I've seen on the forums is the lack of the Smurfy layout. What's going to be happening is that this layout is going to become a display-only version first, right? With the layout that you can see in front of you right now, you can see that all the key elements of Smurfy is there. We are going to be making that interactive as soon as we can, right after we get it out to you in display form first, to make sure all the information's there. We understand fully that this is a view that's needed for the advanced player of MechWarrior, so it's coming. We're also going to be looking into adding features basically at every step of the new patches coming out. Like I said, it's going to be a constant release update of UI 2.0. It's not perfect right now, we know that. We've mentioned that to you, the players, and we'll make sure that we're addressing the key important missing units as we can. The next topic up is the new mech, and we'll pass it off to everybody's favorite artist, Flying Debris.
Hello. Well, the Firestarter is a 35-ton light mech. Not particularly fast as far as light mechs goes. I mean, I think out of the box it's only 97K. It's basically a tiny pyromaniac type mech. It's got 4 flamers on it by default, 2 medium lasers, and 2 machine guns. So this little guy is, and he's got jump jets too. So yeah, he's probably going to be an annoying little bastard, and it's going to be fun. I think
just to touch on that too is that we are tuning flamers.
Woo!
Right.
Yeah.
So is this one of the mechs that you enjoyed working on, like when you're doing the art for?
Oh yeah. I'm not exact. When is the art for that coming out?
The art?
Yeah.
It's already out.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I guess I missed the boat on that one. But yeah, I stuck in a whole bunch of little Easter eggs all over the concept art for that guy. So I hope you guys zoom in and enjoy. Yeah. And the hero version has, I think, extra ballistic hard points in the torsos, so that can get interesting real fast. So yeah.
Can you do me a favor and just lift your knees up a little bit? Yeah, just to show that he's not chained to his chair. He hasn't been fired, he hasn't quit. Okay, so, yeah.
Everyone just keeps assuming I quit all the time. I don't know what's going on.
Shut up, you're fired.
Damn it. Again? I like it here.
Okay, so on to clans and clan mechs specifically. We've been asked about the clan XL engines, what will happen when your side torso is blown off. Is armor going to be adjustable? Going over all of Dave's points, he's taking his thunder. So we're going to talk about why we're not going to do, or why we are or are not going to do stars versus lances, and previews of setups and hardpoints as well.
All right, so let's start off with the Clan XL engine question and what happens when you destroy it or what it takes to destroy it. So an Innersphere XL engine has 6 critical slots that go in the center torso and then 3 on each side torso. And taking the rule from the tabletop, if 3 of those slots are destroyed, the mech gets destroyed. So if you lose any one of the 3 torsos, your mech gets destroyed with an Innersphere XL engine. Now, a Clan XL engine has the same 6 slots in the center torso, but then only 2 slots in each side torso. So first, this means that you can fit a little more stuff in the side torsos. But more importantly, it means that destroying a side torso only destroys 2 slots, and you're going to need 3 to destroy it, which means you either have to destroy both side torsos or the center torso in order to take out a Clan mech with an XL engine. And armor. As Paul said, we were asked whether armor is going to be adjustable. In the tabletop rules for Omnimex, armor is fixed and you can't do anything about it ever. Its type and location is completely fixed. We realize that the tabletop armor placement is not necessarily the best armor placement for our game. So this is one of the instances where we're going to break those rules and allow you to redistribute your armor as you see fit in order to best protect your mech for our game. But the type, whether it's standard or ferrofibrous, is going to be fixed, and there won't be any change in that.
So values are variable, but the type is not.
Yes.
Okay.
And again, this all comes with the big disclaimer of this may get adjusted during tuning.
He said it is law.
Stars versus lances. So in the lore of MechWarrior, Innersphere mechs operate in lances of 4 mechs, as you know if you played the game. Clan mechs operate in stars of 5 mechs. And what this means is you could have 2 stars, which is 10 clan mechs, go up against 12 Innersphere mechs and 3 lances. We are not quite going to go for this route because our plan and vision is that if we balance the clan mechs right, then an individual clan mech is going to be equally powerful and viable to an Innersphere mech, just different. So there's no reason to have more Innersphere mechs versus a fewer number of clan mechs. So yeah, it's going to break lore, and some people aren't going to be too happy about it, but we're aiming to have 12v12 clan versus Innersphere.
Yeah, we're actually going to start with the 12v12, 12 clan versus 12 Innersphere. I spoke to some of the players down at the launch event in San Francisco, and I told them that this was something we were going to look into, was the stars versus lance issue. Out of the gate, we're going to try the 12 versus 12. If it just does not work out, we will make that change to stars versus lance. Right? But like we're saying, is out of the gate, we're going to go 12v12. Right?
And people have been asking for previews of the hard points and loadouts of clan mechs, and that information should be coming very soon, if not out already by the time this video gets to you guys.
We'll hold that to them. One of the other questions, and this is the final kind of fun question, I guess, is as developers, are you guys clan people or Innersphere people? Now, I myself, I will play the Japanese card, and I say I am Innersphere and Korea. Right? So how about Alex? What about you?
Innersphere mercenary. What?
Dennis.
Innersphere, Rosselhog. Go Nords.
Innersphere, probably Davian.
Ooh. Innersphere Steiner.
Well, that doesn't seem very biased at all.
All right, so that's it for Devlog 2, and I hope we answered most of the questions that we've got. And we'll be looking forward to getting more questions. We're changing the format up. You noticed last time is more like a formal interview with the developer. We looked at the feedback and we got some really good pointers from the community, and we were taking that to heart. So we're going to be changing up the presentation of this. One thing we will be moving towards is more like having a moderator or a interviewer with a group of guests, and the group of guests will be the various developers, and we'll be bringing that new format to you probably next video. So till then, see you next time, and I'd like to thank all the guys for being here. So see ya.
Okay.
And that wraps up the second MechWarrior Online dev vlog. And on behalf of No Guts, No Galaxy, I would like to thank the devs again for taking the time to answer these questions, and of course you, the viewer, for tuning in. If you'd like to submit your questions for possible inclusion in the next devlog, be sure to head on over to the forums at mwomercs.com. This is Darren signing off. Until next time, Mech Warriors.
Take a look at this bad boy here. This is the entire studio who's come out to say hello, minus a few bodies maybe, and a few extras. Say hello to Imperius, everybody. Hi. Say thank you for awesome. Thank you. We're taking a quick break while UI 2.0 got released a couple hours ago, or maybe an hour ago, so we're watching and seeing how the community reacts, so we're really excited about today. So let's dig in. Crunch. Thanks,